Hi, I'm the Side Hustle King. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on my first year as a part-time Uber driver. No clickbait, no fluff, just the real numbers. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much I earned, what it actually cost me to get started and keep going, what HMRC says I really made, how many hours I worked, and stick around until the end. I'll share my biggest highs and lowest lows from my first year on the road. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the painful bit, the startup costs. This is everything I had to pay before I even gave my first Uber ride. And here's the thing, whether you're part-time or full-time, these costs don't really change. The council fees, the car, the training, it's the same upfront hit. The biggest one, the car. I dropped £21,250 on a VW Passat GTE, 18 months old, 35,000 miles, hybrid, comfy, efficient, and 220 brake horsepower. Doing 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.2 seconds, it's basically a Uber rocket. Then came insurance, £1,957. Council fees, medicals, training courses, tests. Oh, and I actually failed my first assessment for forgetting my blind spot. Don't be like me. Add in delivery costs, paint protection, a child seat, knowledge test fees. By the time I added it all up, my total was £25,972. Nearly 26 grand gone, before Uber even sent me a single ride request. Ouch. Now let's talk about running costs, the silent killer. The more miles you drive, the more this number balloons. Fuel alone, £5,203. Servicing at VW, £1,465. And trust me, year 2 is going to the local garage. Tires, a new phone, phone bills, car washes, drinks, air fresheners, it all stacks up. Total, £10,635. And because life loves surprises, I had to prepay a chunk of year 2 costs in the first year. Like insurance and tax, another £2,491. So in total, year 1 had £39,098 walking out of my bank account. Yep, nearly 40 grand. Now here's where it gets interesting, because HMRC doesn't see those numbers the way I do. They don't let me write off the whole car in year 1. Nope, they only allow depreciation at 18% a year. So according to them, my deductible costs weren't the £39,000 I actually spent, but only £21,673. Big difference, right? But wait, how many hours did I actually grind behind the wheel? The Uber app shows 17.6 hours per week of actual driving. Factor in waiting around, dead miles, repositioning. Realistically, closer to 20 hours a week. Mostly evenings, all fitted around my 9 to 5. So yeah, this really was just a side hustle. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for, how much did Uber actually pay me? Drumroll please. I made £36,968.78. Not bad for part-time, right? But here's the kicker. With those huge startup costs, my cash flow for year 1 was actually minus £3,129. Yep, negative. Still, according to HMRC, my taxable profit came out at £14,296, which means, hello corporation tax. So here's how I actually see it. I needed a car anyway. My old one cost me about £3,000 a year to run. So instead of me pulling £24,000 out of my own pocket for a new car, Uber effectively paid for it. And because I'm in the 45% tax bracket in my main job, that's the same as me needing to earn £45,750 salary just to buy that car myself. Factor in the pension contributions, dividends, and the fact I upgraded to a way nicer car. Uber has actually been a powerful side hustle. Let me take you through my best Uber moments. I started in January 2024, so I missed the Christmas rush. Fast forward to Easter 2024, Thursday the 28th of March. My first job of the day, 5:59 a.m., just a standard local ride on my way to work. I'm driving back from Oxford to Hampshire, a route I've done 30+ times. Usually, 0 jobs come up along the way. But that day, I got multiple ride requests from a sleepy village called Wallingford going to Reading. Free money because I was going that way anyway. Later that night, once I've had a sleep and got my children in bed. At 10:20 p.m., £40 for 5 miles. At 10:28 p.m., £23 for 4 miles. At 10:45 p.m., £18 for 7 miles. At 11:19 p.m., £81 for 23 miles to Godalming, my biggest job yet. After some back and forth, I wrapped the night at £339.06 in 5 hours. My first taste of a decent Uber shift. Pro tip: Easter, the end of the month plus bank holiday equals peak earnings weekend. Plan your shifts around it. Another banger, July 10th, 2024, England beat the Netherlands in the Euro semi-final. I jumped on at 10 p.m., logged off at 12:45 a.m., and bagged £181.49 in under 3 hours. And with England making the final that Sunday, you can probably guess my next highlight. So on the 14th of July, 2024, England lost 2-1 to Spain in the Euro final. Painful, but not for Uber drivers. I earned £314.78 in under 5.5 hours and still got to watch most of the match. Moral of the story: plan your shifts around England football fixtures. That's when the money flows. Farnborough Airshow. This one's special. It's the biggest airshow in the world, 5 days, over 100,000 visitors, mostly business travelers. And guess what? Local hotels can't handle them all. That means tens of thousands of people needing rides every single night. Airport runs, train stations, hotels 30 miles away, business travelers who don't care what it costs. They just want A to B, fast. Once they're back to their hotels, they also want to go back out and visit the local restaurants. I even plan my 9 to 5 around it. Work from home in the day, Uber shifts morning and evening. Maximum efficiency. Day 1, Monday the 22nd of July, 2024. Alarm 6:20 a.m., first ride, home by 10 a.m. Airshow finishes at 4:30 p.m. Ride requests start flooding in an hour before. Key moment: train line closed due to a fatality. Tragic, yes, but huge surge for drivers. Best ride: £209 for less than 44 miles, plus £20 tip. By the end of the day, over £482 earned. My biggest Uber day ever. Nothing prepared me for someone posting on a Facebook UberDriver forum the rides they had been offered, though. As you can imagine, the next day, there were Uber drivers from all over the South Coast region trying to get a piece of the action in Farnborough. This Facebook post definitely had a detrimental impact on earnings, as during the day traffic was horrendous and the mileage rates were not much more than a normal day. I still don't understand why the driver did not plan his week around the airshow rather than posting it on Facebook to get more drivers in the area. Week total during the airshow: £1,697 for 37 hours driving time recorded in the app, 45 hours total spent in the car. Most hours I've ever spent driving. Saturday the 17th of August, 2024. Another train line fatality and another surge. 10:42 p.m. to 2:20 a.m., £255 in under 4 hours. Now for some lowlight or scary moments. When you hear of Uber drivers being prosecuted for plying or touting for trade, it is usually in Reading. This makes me think the licensing officers in Reading must be some of the strictest or most proactive in the country. Picked up 2 passengers from a wedding. One turned out to be a taxi licensing officer for Reading Council. My license is with Farnborough Council, and he worked closely with the licensing team at Farnborough and knew all the staff on a first-name basis. He'd been in court that very day giving evidence against an Uber driver, which resulted in a successful criminal charge against them. This is a 25-minute ride. One wrong move, and I could potentially lose my private hire license. Luckily, the conversation went well, and I even got a £10 tip. The next lowlight for me was New Year's Eve. I anticipated the biggest earner of the year. Only £177 earned in 5 hours. I normally do better than this on a standard Saturday night. This felt like Uber was experimenting to see how far they can push the rates down even in a busy time. Leave a comment if you want me to do a similar video on my second year's earnings when the year has finished.